It is Friday, brand new Team Affinity Color Storm coming into the game today. 30 new cards, one per team, with a bunch of big twists that are going to really help you guys out down the line. We also got a roster update. We have a lot of stuff. We're going to yap for a while, so get into it. Leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about our Team Affinity. There's actually two here. Yeah, it is not a part of the My Journey program. Like I said, there's a program for every team. Color Storm for the Angels, for the A's, for all of them. There's a lot of Team Affinity cards that you're going to see here. And what is really cool that you're going to notice for these programs is, one, they're very short. There's not a lot you have to do. You play a moment challenge. I'm the only one that absolutely abhors the 3 strikeout. These moments, I can't stand. I hate the 3 strikeouts 1 inning. They're so annoying. But then there's some missions. You can skip 1 or 2. There is an optional mission with that Jolt card. You do not need to have it, but it can help. But then there's PXP missions with hitters and pitchers. You got total bases with Yankees and strikeouts. It's a pretty short path. You get a card right there. There's Luis Heel, injured in real life, but a pretty damn good card here in the game. 4-pitch mix. Kind of looks a lot like the Roki Sasaki. No outlier here, but overall, pretty good card, and that is the Color Storm. For every team, it is just 50,000 points. It is not some big, exhaustive program. It is what they said, about an hour or so per team, and that is probably could be done in even lesser time to get these done, which I think is fantastic. And what else is really cool is if you get said card, if you get Luis Heel, you can take that card and get 500 PXP and get 150,000 Team Affinity points. That is insane. That nearly would complete you up to the point of getting the All-Star card, which, again, that is how you're going to get the All-Star content. That's how you're going to get the finest content this year. If you have this voucher, you turn it in, you get the Yankees All-Star card. And for the most part, for a lot of people, for a lot of teams that you play with a lot, you're probably just going to get the All-Star cards, the finest cards when they come out. You won't even have to grind for them as part of this My Journey program if you get those Color Storm cards. And again, it's just 500 measly PXP to get all those points. And not only that, but just a metric shit ton of packs alongside there too. So I think that is really good. I was telling my stream, we're live streaming twitch.tv/GomesDaLegend. I was realistically expecting maybe 25, 50,000 points. No, they're really giving you a buttload here. And there is, of course, Color Storm. There's a brand new collection here in which you're going to... Okay, we can't see all of them, but you can see this. There is a new collection coming on the 13th of June. Just like the Scott Rowland, I don't know if it's going to be a new legend, but it's another big Legend and Flashback collection. And that is just 3 weeks away. So start thinking about it. You need 15 cards to get it, same as last time. You also get a chase pack if you collect 8 of the Team Affinity cards. So that is kind of, it's pack 5. God forbid we give out the new one, of course. Let's do a month-old reissue. Okay. Let's check out all the TA cards. I'm going to do a video where I kind of rank them. We already looked at Luis Heel. I don't know if you need to see him twice. I don't think there's really any best direction to get these done. Just play with the teams, essentially. Colton Cowser here, great outfielder, good against righties. 91 overall for Colton Cowser. These are all 91s and 92s. But what I'm saying is there's not like a ton of reason, really, to... The strikeouts, total bases, it's pretty direct on how to get these done fast. And they're all captains. I should mention that. They are all captains, and they tried to balance them here. So, again, the Red Sox is a great theme team. You don't get as big of a buff. And some teams, you have stackable captains, like the Red Sox. You have the Clay Buchholz and then Masataka Yoshida. So you get a hitter and a pitcher captain. Those buffs stack on each other. Not every team is like that, which is a little unfortunate, but They tried to balance it a little bit so the teams with non-stackable captains have a bigger boost than the teams with stackable captains, all in accordance with how good the theme team is. Masataka Yoshida is pretty good. He might not be in real life, but in the game here, he's pretty damn good. Good contact, great swing, 100-plus clutch and vision. So that is the Red Sox color storm. Let's try to go down all these. The Tampa Bay Rays, they've got Josh Lowe. He's and all the captain boosts. See, the Rays is quite high. They have 2 hitters, Caminero and Josh Lowe. They get a great big buff. 20 contact right, 20 power right, 8 speed, 20 hit per 9. And then, a solid enough card. I do think they could have chose some different names in certain cases here. It is a bit frustrating, I would say. A couple people upset with the Jeff Hoffman pick with the Toronto Blue Jays. I think for the most part, my review on these cards would be there's some gems. There's some really good cards in here, but broadly, a lot of it is going to be good cards, especially if you add a boost, if you use them as a theme team captain. They're going to get even better, of course. Like, they're usable on their own. Some are great. A lot of them are, good cards, not necessarily position toppers, I would say. Let me know in the comment section as we go through, like, some of the favorite cards you see. Let me know if you'd rather have a different player in some of these cases. Like the Royals, they get Michael Wacha, who personally, sinker cutter combo, pretty good hit K and BB, kind of fair across the board. I think that is a pretty solid card for them. And the Tigers, this is a fun one. A lot of people have been asking for Javier Baez, and here he is. 87, 100 on contact, 86, 86 power, 71 vision, 112 clutch. It's so weird seeing Javi with that kind of vision. He can play center field, 80 fielding, 88 arm, 62 speed. Captain boost, of course. He's good buff reaction time and power. And I think, like I mentioned, or I was going to mention, these are different boost. They're not all contact, batting clutch, and hit per 9 like. The former were like Royce Lewis. And again, you can kind of see here, I can attest to this. The Twins theme team, there's worse off than us, but we do not have a fantastic theme team at the game, and we only get +8. That's because we have a stackable captain. We have a pitcher, Jim Cott, which was the Jolt Series captain. Royce Lewis is one of the better ones. 90-97 contact, 107 power against right, 104 clutch, 85 fielding and reaction at third base, a premier position. He's got a couple of, two quirks. A couple. He's one of the better ones, a pretty solid righty swing, too. Man, I really wish there's a faster way of doing this. Of course, there is not exchanges. How the hell? People must have, they pre-grinded, essentially. There's a thing where if you play a game and finish the game after an update goes live, the stats all track for the update. So if you want to be the first to discover one of these cards, that's how to do it. That's how, there's a couple of these cards are already discovered. There's no exchanges. They didn't get all those stats that quick. They just did it ahead of time. Brian Abreu, much like Mason Miller, just with no outlier really here. But again, Astros theme team, it's going to help those cards out. It takes a while to get through all of these. Man, I wish people would have pre-ground this stuff a little bit more. The one time in my life I'm going to vouch for pre-ground. Brian, card is pretty good. Sinker, sweeper, four-seam slider and a circle change. Good hitting K per 9. He's got, the captain boost for the Mariners as well. I am very curious. You guys let me know in the comment section. Are you going to use theme teams? Are you going to use some of your favorite teams with this new boost? Especially some of the teams that have the buff. Can stack a hitting captain like the Rangers, Ian Kinsler, and Jack Leiter. This Jack Leiter, I think, is going to be one of the better cards within this drop, too. He's pretty good. Per 9s across the board, can throw pretty hard. He's been pitching well in real life, but, I am curious if this is a needle mover where you really did not see many people using theme teams online. It was a big rarity. You might see a tier 1, because you only need 5 cards. You get just a minuscule buff on that specific team. Brent Rooker, 100-plus power, 95-99 contact, 95 clutch, 66 speed with a pretty good right-handed swing. That's one of the better cards too. Obviously more of a DH, but still, I would like to see more captains being used this year. I think that's another one of the poor points of this year compared to the past couple, is just that they did captains better. I thought out of all the bad things that occurred within MLB 24, you got Ben Joyce double outlier right here. He's Mason Miller with a sinker. The captains were really good in 24. A lot of times you saw people using the captains. Maybe they went too far in a couple areas with the switch hitter captain that people ran wild with, the Carlos Santana. But overall, captains got lots of use, which was a good thing. They really helped promote team building, and they made cards that might not be fantastic normally a lot more interesting. You know, even if they weren't outstanding on their own merit, if you get a buff to that specific team, then okay, this card all of a sudden is something that you might want to actually go for. And the same can be said for even actual theme teams. I would love, really would love, I've been vouching for it so hard. Mark Vientos is one of the best. Again, kind of looks like Brent Rooker, but playable in the field. 69 fielding might be sugarcoating it for Swaggy V there, but I really tried hard. I want so badly to see a player be able to go on a theme team as long as they played for that team ever in their history. You know, think of like a Roger Clemens. He should have eligibility for the Red Sox, for the Yankees, for the Blue Jays, for the Astros. It doesn't matter what actual cap he's wearing in the card. Austin Riley, another card I really like there. Hopefully one day we get that. I know Madden Ultimate Team, you know, one of the few things that game has gotten right. They do it like that. So Deion Sanders, any of the 15 franchises he played for, that card is going to have eligibility for. He's going to give you progress on that specific theme team, which is really cool, which is how it should work. And I know they've got the computing process in there because they had it last year with like the no-hitter captain. There had to be some logic baked into each card that they know this guy threw a no-hitter or this guy was the battery, the catcher to a no-hitter. So I would really like to see it. I know it's a little exhaustive, but man, would it really help things out. Xavier Edwards is Tim Raines with no fielding. The NL East, mind you, that was all fan-voted cards. I do think for the most part, it's one of the better divisions. We're going to enter one of the lesser divisions here, the NL Central. A lot of Tim Raines, a lot of 100 contact, 100 vision, 100 clutch, 90 speed, 90 fielding guys, which is not a bad thing. But that's just all these cards look like. And again, talking about the names, like a Jackson Chourio, name value goes far. I look at a lot of people who play the game, a lot of my friends who are a little bit more casual who play the game. Sorry, Victor. I fat-fingered that one. They're interested in their favorite teams. They're interested in their favorite players. And name value carries a lot of weight. Even if the card isn't the best ever, if it is a cool player that they like to watch in real life, they're more inclined to use it. So, I don't know. Like, could you have probably came up with a more relevant Cardinals card than Victor Scott? I'm sure. Maybe Cardinal fans love the Victor Scott. I'm not sure. I don't speak for the Redbirds. I just know we beat them in 87. I was not even an embryo at the time, but my dad remembers it. Nico Horner. A lot of people get horny for that card. The Central, like I said, is definitely one of those. Like the Cubs, you could have went Ian Happ, maybe. That's definitely one that would have probably had a little bit more love than the Nico Horner. Probably would have got a little bit more use. The Reds and the Pirates, couple of pitchers, 92s that I do like quite a bit. Nick Lodolo, he was so good. If you guys remember MLB The Show 20, future star Nick Lodolo, monster. He carved up everybody. And this card could do the exact same thing. Nick Lodolo, I'm excited for it, left-handed starting pitcher. And then also for the Pirates, Jared Jones, who unfortunately revealed he's going to miss the entirety of this season, which was kind of the expectation, but, you know, hearing it sucks, of course. He's got a sinker. They added that to his card. His long series does not have it. Really helps this one out immensely. Per nines across the board, pretty fair. Mid to high 80s. That's a solid-looking card. I know people liked his one from last year. I think it was the Prospect, the Pipeline. They keep mixing up the damn names. It is Player of the Month. It's not Spotlight. It's always going to be Player of the Month to me. Blake Trinan, one of the best cards here for sure. 108 hit 9, 123 maxed out pitch clutch, 85K, 88 BB9 sweeper, sinker, four-seam cutter. That is really good stuff. Obviously, the Dodgers are not going to get a ton on their captain because they've got a lot of great players. We're going to see in the roster update shortly here. I'm sure they added even more diamonds, and I'm sure the Shohei Ohtani might be more expensive after the run he's been on in real life as of late. Jake Cronenworth, balanced across the board, pretty good. 10 power, vision, reaction time, and pitch clutch. Kind of a random boost, but it's going to help out those specific stats for you. They are valuable, especially the more you play the game. You realize how important reaction time is, how important plate vision can be, especially on the higher difficulties. I'm definitely going to be trying out answering my own question. I'm going to be more likely to use my Twins theme team or try out other theme teams online than I would have otherwise because of this update. If these were not captains, I definitely would have a little bit different opinions. Overall, TA, I guess we kind of round this up as one collective thing. I know there's people who are upset that it is not a part of my journey because they've already got grinding done, but I also think the fact that they're coincided and you get 150,000 points for getting this card and using it like for 10 minutes is pretty damn good. Jung-Hoo Lee really liked the cut of this guy's jib. He's got a great swing of the game, high contact, vision and clutch, 99 arm, 80 speed. The power's a little bit low, but still we love ourselves some Jung-Hoo. I think the format is good. It's short and sweet. You don't have to get all these cards again. You know, there's no collection. And that is one of my downsides. I would have liked to see somebody at the end of here, like a 93. We only have 490 prior to whatever else I see here today. We only had 493. Springer, Pedro Martinez, and then Willie Castro and Cedric Mullins. There was not many 93s. If you could offer one, or maybe even a 94, just one card for a collector, if they were to do all this, a really great card would have been awesome. But overall, I like the format. I like that they're kind of shorter programs. It's realistic to get one done probably within an hour. You just stack your, really, this is how you do it. Stack your team full of one specific franchise, let's say Phillies, go into a couple Conquest games or mini seasons again with that pack method we talked about yesterday. And you get some good stuff. You're going to get the card pretty quick, and that's going to help you in the My Journey program, and you're going to get a ton of progress, ton of packs there. It's going to help you out for the future. I would have liked to see maybe some of the cards be a little bit better. Overall, I think there's definitely some good ones, but the captain really saves it. If these were not captains, I would have different feelings. The fact that we're getting relevant cards that are actually reasonable to use, most people don't want to have 85, 86s on their team with those captain cards, realistically. So that is a big help. I think overall, Team Affinity, I'm going to give it a win. I think we did well here overall. They definitely have some good cards that you're going to get for a pretty reasonable amount of time. You get Mick Abel, who was shoving on the mound for the Phillies in one start, then he got sent down. But hell, it was a great starter. The card is pretty solid. 4-seam, 12-6, slider, sinker, circle, changeup. 82, 88, 67 on hit K and BB. That's pretty fair for a Topps Now card. Moises Ballesteros for the Cubs. Honestly, not bad. 98, 96 contact with 99 clutch. High vision. There's enough power here. He's pretty slow, as you could probably gauge by the picture, but he's a short king, so we love that. You get a May Spotlight pack, which features 5 cards we'll talk about here in a second, but I do think the best card here is going to be Wilmer Flores. 3 home run day, 8 ribbies, a part of rivalry weekend, even though I'm not so sure that the Giants and Athletics are going to be too much of a rival when they move to Vegas, but oh well. Thanks, Fisher. Fucker. 96-98 against righties is really good. 88-92 is pretty damn good. 87, 105 vision and clutch is really good too. The speed sucks. I mean, that's Yasmani Grandal territory. It definitely detracts from the card. If you don't hit it over the wall, it's probably a single. So that's going to limit how good he is. He's got pinch hitter, but he's reasonable to play at first, second, or third. It's not fantastic defense, but you can get it done, and he's a very good hitter that you can get for free. Again, just got some moment challenges here. You play through these. Another 3 strikeout in 1 inning, my favorite. PXP, you can usually skip a couple of these stat missions as well, and you're going to get up there. But what's pretty cool in this update with these cards, there's actually an April Spotlight Player pack, which guarantees you a Spotlight player from the month of April. Kind of as that would suggest. You get a free Spotlight player if you get all 3 of these programs done. So that is Kyle Stowers, Jason Dominguez, and Wilmer Flores. You're guaranteed one of the cards necessary for that Carlos Santana collection. One of the 13, of course, that are required, but it will trickle down economics, I guess. That's what they're hoping for. A couple people get these cards for free. It's eventually going to lower the price on what I still think is the best catcher in the game. Carlos Santana is fantastic. He just goes for like $350K, and unlike Jorge I fucking knew it. I knew it. We talked about it in the chat. I called it. Who is coming back from injury today? Ronald Acuna Jr. How might one get Ronald Acuna Jr., the first 94 overall in the game, huh? Wow, what do you know? A chase pack. I don't believe it. Is he good? Let's see. He's good, not great. Okay, I can live kind of like the Cedric Mullins. He has one quirk. After a poor and injured last year, I might rather have Buxton than this card. I might rather have Ken Griffey Jr. than this card, to be honest. I'm sort of struggling how he is this high overall. The contact is good, 194. He's got a good swing for a righty, too. 83, 82 power, low 80s, 80 vision, 100 clutch, maxed out arm. The fielding's quite poor. 66 fielding, 67 reaction. Speed at 72 for Acuna. 99 steal for him, however. It's a good card. I can live with that, I guess. I would really rather not. That chase cards is what resets the overall scale on the power creep. We saw it with Willie Castro, where he's the first 93 that comes out. Acuna is the first 94. If you're a big Brave fan, a big Acuna fan, this card is almost going to be impossible to get. I'm sure his price will go down. Not like super, super happy with this, but the card is not overpowered, I guess I would say. It's a situation where the overall looks a little bit better than the actual stats, but certainly probably like one of the biggest name cards that they could have put out is Acuna when he's coming back to the team. In other news in the pack today, we get Will Benson, who been on a torrential tear for the Cincinnati Reds. 5 home runs in 4 games. Been crushing it after a poor 2024. Good to see him come back to 2023 level Will Benson when the Reds were really fun. He's great against righties, not good against lefties. So, yeah, I could live with that being the pack card. Merrill Kelly, I really do like the looks of him. Now, his pitch speed differentials are not really layered. The four-seamer, the cutter, and the sinker are all basically the same mile per hour. The circle change is also just 4 off the four-seam, and the slider just another 2 off of that. The per nines look really good at 98 hit 9, 89 K per 9, 78 BB 9. I don't know, that might play. I kind of like that. Merrill Kelly. We get Nicholas Kurtz. Fan favorite right here. Just don't say his name too fast. 101 power against right, 87 against lefties. It's a tops now card. It's not a needle mover, but people are going to be excited. Nick Kurtz is definitely a really enjoyed card. That prospect 84 earlier on in the game. Justin Henry Malloy for the Tigers, 93 power. Ton of discipline. That guy has a really strict diet. He does not get enticed by the candy aisle at the gas station. Christian Koss here for the Giants to wrap things up. 99, 85 contact, low to mid power. Yeah, he looks like a tops now card. There is a free Memorial Day pack with some equipment in the game today, which that is pretty cool. We'll go take a look at what is in here. We love free stuff. We love Memorial Day. Thank you to all who have served. We really do appreciate and respect the honor that you lay out for us. You get a Memorial Day bat. That's pretty cool. Speaking of bats, the torpedo bats are in the game. I do not know if they're in Diamond Dynasty yet, but they are in offline. From what I've seen, they're not quite there. I haven't seen a torpedo bat they can use in the game in Diamond Dynasty, but, it's there. It's there offline. So, the Chris Taylor. What's the Chris Taylor? Is that like in remembrance because he got dumped by the Dodgers? There's a new headliner pack, a headliner choice pack. Choose one gold or better player item with a highly increased chance. Highly increased, huh? That's how high. 1 of 3 at a 90 plus, 1 of 3 at a diamond in general. And okay, I mean, there's a Chris Taylor in here, 92 overall. It's actually kind of fun, kind of like a Jackie Robinson with a little bit better power, I suppose. The vision's a little bit low, but a Dodger legend, Chris Taylor. We'll see what his future looks out for him going forward after being cut from the team. But yeah, more pack cards. Never a bad thing, huh? Never a bad thing to have a ton of pack cards at the game. I'm curious if these are going to start dropping. 130. That's the same card, Gomer. Jamer. 160. Wow, he's pretty good. I concur. I've liked him so far. What else do we have? I've heard there is a new Conquest. Oh, that is really cool. Turtle map. So, it features the 20th anniversary pack. That's awesome. So if you're looking to get this voucher, which was really expensive, or the Honus Wagner, the 91 20th anniversary edition, it's going to be made a lot easier. Those cards were going like north of 300 or like 30,000 stubs, which I don't know about you. I'd rather not pay that for a shitty 85 that's never going to see my team. So that's going to make this voucher a lot easier, and especially considering we have another collection coming forward on the 13th. So new map today, Turtle map, like 4 games, going to be a great vessel to grind some of your team affinity stuff in there today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the roster update. What do we have in store here? Aaron Judge is going to be getting an upgrade, a +1 to a 93 as he gains contact and some vision. So that's going to help him out a little bit in the game here. I'm not really using Judge too much myself. The vision, the height, the swing, and I just haven't really got the results you'd expect from a guy who's got a 1230 OPS in real life. Tatis, same overall, but really downgrade for the game. Jose Ramirez, holy Christ, he's up to a 91, which puts him in a higher pull threshold, which is surely going to skyrocket his price and make the Live Series collection all that more out of reach for the grand majority of players. But this is also going to make Jose Ramirez just better. +10 clutch, +13 contact in total, and overall the net jump in power. That is a huge boost for him. Bobby Witt Jr. gets +3 power, gets some vision as well. He's up to a 91. Freddie Freeman enters the 90 and up club as he gains a lot. 18 contact, 10 power, 8 clutch. And that card is going to be more usable online. Zach Wheeler's now an 89 to +2. Got to be up there for the Cy Young frontrunner of the National League, Tarek Skubal. Same thing could be said for the American League for him. He's now also an 89 overall. Try and look at all these. Mason Miller, same overall. Loses 10 BB9. He's really been letting up the free pass as of late. Lindor loses some stuff versus lefties. Overall, Anuch. Ketel Marte gets a little bit more balance, +6 and +5 contact and power against righties, but loses versus left. Juan Soto, Mr. Keep My Bat on My Shoulders. I heard he got a brand new quirk. Juan Soto is unable to swing. Pitches right down the middle, is just... and just collects a check. $700 million. Met fans really love the Juan Soto experience. Paul Skeens stays at 88. Mookie Betts the same. Pete Crow just a +1. Okay, they gave him power. They're still not ready to fully jump on board with how good he has been offensively. Which again, yeah, he has not been this kind of power hitter the past couple of years. But I disagree. I don't know, 12 home runs. I give him a little bit more jump there. DeGrom gets +2. That's pretty nice. Glad to see that Jake is back healthy. We get Will Smith a +1, very well deserved. Thought maybe he'd get a +2, but he's up to an 87. Been the best hitter and best hitting catcher in baseball. Him and Cal Raleigh very close. Wyatt Langford actually gets +1 to an 87. Merrill, who's looking good after coming back from injury, up to an 87. Harper stays put at 87, as does Kyle Tucker. Cal Raleigh, a big +2. He gets into the diamond tier. As he gains some contact and some power, he's 86, same as Joe Ryan, much well-deserved. Corey Seager stays at 86. Buxton, Big Daddy, Buck Truck, big hitter. Really happy about that one. 11 new diamonds is what we're being told here. Logan Webb gets diamond. Ali De La Cruz, cover man, he loses a point. Brian Woo, a big +3. Hunter Green, I told you guys this would be a good investment. He gets all the way up to an 86. Ooh, look at that. Stephen Kwan stays put. Hunter Brown gets a fat +4 into 86. Again, it is not like it used to be. It's higher base value at 86 and 85, so it does mean quite a bit. Who else do we have here getting up to diamond? Andres Munoz gets up there to an 85. Josh Hader is getting there as well. Nate Evaldi also up to the diamond threshold. William Contreras gets nooched. Trey Turner, Vlad, Crochet, Yamamoto. I disagree with that one. Bregman gets there. Pablo's a little shy. He only gets to 84. I get it. You know, he hasn't, he's only 45 innings on the year, but still not really agreeing with that one. Bellinger a +2 to 84. Let's start to try and move past these a little bit quicker. Michael King, Willier Abreu gets a +3. Manny Machado a +1. J-Rod Free does not quite get there. I was a little skeptical. Suarez 83. Doyle, Drew Rasmussen +1. Adley falls -3. Really tough start to the season for him. Though he did hit a home run the other day. He could get back there. Schwarbombs, he's been great for the Phillies this year. Garcia -1. Logan Hoppy, a big +3. Carlos Rodon a +2. Dansby been swinging a hot stick, +2 to an 83. Chapman stays put. Danny Coulomb gets up to 83. Zach Neto killing it. 8 home runs on the year. Horny for Horner up to an 83. Jeremy Duran loses 1. Yanni Urdiras +1. +2 for Jeremy Pena. Trying to see. Bubic gets a big +4 up to gold. Big jump for him. +19 pitch clutch. That's always a hard stat to predict what they're going to do with. Just because it's a little finicky. Jeremiah Estrada, big +3 for him. Very well deserved. Ozuna from the Braves loses 1. Luke Weaver, the Dream Weaver, gets a +1. Hoffman loses 2. He's been getting smacked around lately. Goldie goes gold. He's an 82. Ursig gets there as well. Reagans, who finds himself on the IL. Bangaliers up to an 81. Anil Cruz down to an 81. Elliot Ramos a +3. Like to see that. Riley Green a +2. Very well deserved. Been mashing against righties. Chris Martin does not get it because they move his pitch clutch down 11 points. Okay. 1.83 ERA. He loses 11 points. Again, I don't really know. Sean Murphy, Luis Ariz stay put. Kerry Carpenter actually lost points. Okay, so now they moved his durability -20. Even though he's been healthy for basically all year. What the fuck is that? Like, realistically. Okay, they also moved his bunt up 31. I have no idea. Okay, well, whatever. He's been swinging well. I thought he was going up. He actually goes down. Okay. Bob Suarez goes +2. Tanner Scott also +1. Clase lost a point. No clue. So he rebounds, starts playing better, but he loses a point. That makes no sense. Bader gets a +2. Donovan gets a +1. Sal Frelick gets a +3. Try to make sure that we hit all these just in case you guys were looking at them. Griffin Jacks gets gold. There we go. I was big on that one. Bo Bichette +2. Lourdes Gurriel +2. Mackenzie Gore also gold. Framber Valdez. Josh Young gets in there. Grisham, Reese Hoskins, Jake Myers, Gleyber Torres, Merrill Kelly, Garrett Clevenger. Edwin Diaz, a lot of new golds. Jacob Wilson gets a huge +5. Love to see that. Miguel Garcia gets in. Spencer Torkelson gets in. A couple guys do lose some points here. Fernando Cruz gets in as well. Rafi Devers, and that's the end of the golds here. Burns somehow doesn't. Okay, some things I disagree with here. Burns, another good start against the Dodgers. Not enough to get a +1, apparently. The walks have been, like, on the men, too. Whatever. It is what it is, I guess. That's always how it will be, though. A little disagreements. But for the most part, the top end, pretty good stuff for the roster update. We'll just try and move through a lot of the silvers here. See if anything catches my eye. Kirksey got a +2. I know we talked about him. Duran does not move. They didn't want to move his strikeout per 9 at all after 10.5. And somehow +12 home run per 9, +5 pitch clutch is a nooch with -1 hit 9 and -2 BB 9. Okay. Whatever you say. There's a little finagling here going on, I think. That's unfortunate. So he didn't go up. I'm invested on Duran. I'm probably just going to keep in with what I've got there. We'll just speed through the rest of the silvers in case you guys were interested. James Wood gets there. CJ Abrams a +2. Kind of some interesting stuff here in this roster update. A big one, 11 new diamonds. Probably the biggest roster update they've ever had, all said and done. Robbie Ray gets a +4. Good for him. He's been doing well this year. Just trying to round out the silvers because that's really the end of the investing period. You know, you're not really going to see too many jumps from like a 73 to a 74. Just see the guys that ended up going silver. There's a lot of them. Cole Sands got there. Atta baby. I love to see that. That's it. Okay, so that's what we got. A lot of stuff in the roster update there. And we'll see how I did. Again, for the people who thought I was pulling a pump and dump scheme, you count them up. All these guys are still there. Ooh, they updated the Buxton card art. Love to see that. So I'll gladly cash in. There's no reason to try and manipulate the market when you believe in your own advice. So we'll make $100K on Joe Ryan. And a lot of these I sell. That's $130K for Byron Buxton. A lot of these I'll just kind of sell where they are, especially Buxton. He's currently hurt right now. So it's like Pablo I might stay in on because he's only 1,700. And again, right now, as we've talked about, is a great time to get in investing. But if they start playing poorly, because again, we're not going to have another roster update until mid-June. You know, it is 3 weeks away until the next roster update. So you can invest in someone, but if they start playing poorly, then that investment is derailed. And that's the whole point why I don't do roster predictions right now. Because if I said, okay, well, Griffin Jacks, and then he starts shitting the bed, I'd be like, okay, Gomer, bad advice. Horrible video. Hate that shit. Griffin Jacks would cash in for $60K. Yohan Duran, I might just keep at where he is. That's not the end of the world for me. Coulomb, he's currently injured. I probably could stick in on this one, but I'm going to sell him right now. I mean, relievers are always volatile. It's difficult. It is tough. Then I also did have a couple of Dodgers. Will Smith, he ended up going up in overall, so that's $50K. And then Yama did not move, but got him in on quick sell. So we're up to $500K. I like that. Oh, my God. Look at Shohei Ohtani. 730,000 for the two-way superstar. Aaron Judge is 550. Tatis is 220. J-Ram is 220. Bobby Witt is 300. Freddie Freeman is now 55. He was like 5 a couple weeks ago. Lindor's 100 plus. My God. They might have to move the cap again for Shohei. Because the cap, coming into the year, no Live Series card could be sold at prices 500,000 stubs or above. Like $500K was the cap. And now they moved it to $750K. I do think this is a little bit of a surge because a lot of people are gaining buying power after their investments. But Yeah, if collections seemed out of reach before, I definitely think it's going to feel like that right now. That is how much was Shohei coming into the day? He is up 100,000 stubs from where he was. That is insane. That is insane. We'll see what happens going forward, but right now, my God, the market is inflated. Again, I think a lot of that is because of the roster update, but that's where we are. Looking forward, we've got new multiplayer program drop number 3. That's going to be coming in with a brand new card. Of course, we had the Piazza that came out last time, which really good card. I didn't talk about it here, but definitely go and try this Piazza. If you don't have Yaz, I'm loving these Monty Grandal. I would definitely recommend the Pizza Man right there. There's going to be one more card coming out in BR or coming out there. Double XP week is coming next week too. A new program on the 30th, a Spotlight drop number 4, and then on the 4th, I think is already going to be... Or no, that week is going to have the 4th inning XP Path and the Weekend Classic number 3. So a lot of stuff here today. Overall, I thought it was a really good update. I'm going to be honest. I don't think all of the Team Affinity cards were incredible. I think for some teams, you're definitely going to say, okay, my team kind of got screwed. I'm just not interested in a 50 power Sal Frelick or whatnot. You know, there's some teams that did not get a ton of love there. They could have had better overall cards. I would have liked to see a collection there with the 94 that can at least offer up to the overall, the Acuna. But I do love that the Team Affinity programs, once again, kind of short and sweet. It's not going to take you forever and ever to get through the Color Storm, and you get that 150K My Journey progress for really just getting that card. That is pretty amazing. I thought the Spotlight stuff, the better cards were in the program. I would rather have the Wilmer than the Will Benson for sure. Again, I don't love that we're restarting overalls with chase cards, that they dictate how we go up the power creep. I don't love that Acuna comes back from injury and, you know, it's not like, surprise, we dropped a free 92 Acuna. It's like, okay, here's a chase pack Acuna. It's not like super overpowered, so I can live with it. But again, not a fan of just all chase packs every week. Not a fan of like constantly the best overall cards are coming out in packs. But overall, pretty solid update. Definitely some good stuff. We'll talk about some of the TA cards you probably should focus on because, again, there's no collection. You definitely don't need to get all those guys. There's some that you definitely should get. We'll talk about that probably tomorrow. Thank you so much for sticking out this 42-minute video. If you did, please comment Menards. Got to be one of the best home improvement stores out there, huh? Save big money.